My client emerges into her past life, and she's a young medieval girl living in the court of the king of that time. She's around 24 years old, and she's wearing a beautiful teal dress, very elaborate shoes, and she's got rings on every single finger, a necklace and earrings, and her hair is worn up. So she's a very wealthy young lady. And she is actually locked in a room, and my client could actually describe all the furniture in the room. She could describe the window, the door lock, the tables and chairs, and even the items on the table. What happened is that we moved to another scene where she took me around the ballroom. And what was happening is that she believed in women's rights, and she was speaking too loudly to the other groups of women about this very modern concept. And she even took me outside the ballroom to a group of men who were plotting against her. The next minute, she was back in the scene in the room where she was locked into the room. And these men came to the door and roughly and very quickly took her out of the room outside and were trying to march her to the gallows. A crowd had developed and people were shouting for her to be hung because news has got around about her beliefs and her views about women. We actually froze the scene, and she could actually look around the crowd to see who had orchestrated her to be hung. And her eyes met with her grandmother, and she knew her grandmother had orchestrated this because she'd actually refused several marriages and she'd brought shame onto the family. Luckily, word had got to her father, and her father was quite high up in court, and he actually managed to come in time and stop the proceedings, and she wasn't hung. And she said she never got married in that lifetime, but she said after that incident she was very, very quiet about her beliefs.